Much better. Much better.
So I was back out here. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Which
Getting
is
that
what
club, you're rolling that club inside again.
Yep.
Instead of feeling that club staying. Remember, the club head wants to feel like it stays on the outside of the hands. And as soon as that goes in, and this arm gets away from us, and then the next thing and you're not the opposite. So a lot of times we'll get here, and then this club will start coming this way. You get here, you just drop it more underneath, and then you try. And then what do you have to do with that right hand? You've got to flip that right hand, and that's where a lot of the inconsistencies come from. But 2, 3, 3, 3. Well, we can live all day with that, and then we can still hit our beautiful little fade with an inside path. That's easy. Okay, so we have multiple balls in the fade. Something about that. Well, that didn't stink. Okay, so I feel like I got it. Good. Remember, if we have that L, that's okay too. That's getting you more out in front. It's a little bit over, but we can live in that 2 degrees on the outside too.
Anything within that 3
Yeah.
either way is workable.
Correct. Correct. This just means you're swinging a little bit more left. And that's okay. Means your body rotation's a little early possibly, but it's not the end of the world. I'd rather you err more, obviously, just on the outside of it for you, because you tend to want to always be more under. And if we can get you feeling like you're 1 to 2 coming on the outside, then it's going to be harder for you to sneak back into your old habits. That's what. Good.
So what I was I don't know if it's struggling with it. So all my irons and even my hybrids, I'm fine with that swing width. We didn't really do. I guess I don't know the 3-wood and especially the driver.
Let's grab 3-wood.
Okay, because is this? I just don't know where these are supposed to be on that. I'm guess. Are they?
They're still more round because the longer the club, we don't want to still go as vertical as a wedge, right? Because it's just, think about the physics of it. If I'm here, if I go around like I do a driver, so it's really, we got to think about more hand path than the club itself. So what I'm saying is like wedge, we'd be here, hand path would be X. That's going to look more vertical because of our spine angle, right? And then we get driver, we're standing a little taller. Our arms and hands still go on the same path, but it's just going to feel a little bit more around us than vertical. And it might be difficult to understand that. I get that part. Go ahead and hit a 3-wood. Let me see where you're at. But it really comes from where our axis is over the golf ball. If we could all swing like this with every club, then our arms would go in one direction all the time. If we could swing at 90 degrees, game would be a little easier.
So when I'm hitting the 3-wood in the driver, with that new higher swing here versus out, I'm fading it a lot.
Okay.
Is that normal?
Yeah, that's not uncommon. No, that's
okay,
fine.
So
No. Don't get too critical on that.
No,
yeah.
I just wanted
yeah.
to-
Well, let's see what path looks like,
Okay.
and let's see if we might be getting too vertical with driver and 3-wood. You just whip that right hand through that one. I mean, path was great. Leave the face a little on this one. Go and feel like you're hitting a fade. thing there, Kat, it looked more this way through impact. Like that move, like where early extension, the pelvis is coming in instead of feeling hand path going left and staying in it. Yep. So that's the fade you're talking about? Or are you
Yeah.
talking like you lose it right?
Yeah, like, wait, no, that's
Okay.
nothing to complain about.
Because that, yeah, okay, good. Good. Yeah, that's a beautiful 3-wood right there. And that's ultimately what we're trying to accomplish.
Okay, so I'm switching.
So we're swinging 2 degrees on the outside, and that face is probably squarish to slightly closed, and the ball's
But the
moving.
back part is okay with
Yeah.
road. Okay, all right, let me do one more of these and then, because this was more than, this felt more similar to the driver.
Well, yeah, and they're only, what, 3-4 inches apart.
That just hit behind it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get one more.
As many as you want. Okay, that's where you're closing that face. If you leave that face alone through impact, that ball's gonna go just like that one we hit that perfect fade. Okay, so think about grip it. If we're 2 degrees on the outside ever so slightly, we don't have to do what you used to do from underneath and do that. That's what's happening right now. You still have a little bit of that feeling through impact. Even though we're coming 2 degrees on the outside, we don't want that face rotating that much. You wanna almost feel like that's just staying square, okay? That's all. I mean, the path is still the same. So
Okay.
that was a hair more on the outside. So we don't need to feel like that club face is closing. Does that make sense, Kevin?
It does,
Because in
it
the
does.
past, we've been 10 under, and to make that ball go anywhere near our target, we've got to feel like that club face is turned completely down to hit this shot to come back around. And that's a ton of curve that we don't want. But one you hit that was perfect was exactly what I'm talking about. You didn't release it early, or that right palm, or that the toe didn't turn down on that one. And the path was perfect. That was better. I want you to go to the top and freeze for me. It looks to me on that one that there's a little extra arm swing at the top. You get to the top, you've turned your whole body, and then your arms kind of keep floating. So just go to the top and freeze. Okay. All right. This is also awesome. We got to get there.
So back to 300.
Yep, we got to get there. You're getting too stacked more like an iron, and then we're coming just a hair too steep on it.
So more like I am with the driver.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, use your spine angle tilt to create your launch, not your hands. So you're just gonna, remember, we're gonna set up, and we're gonna set up with a slight tilt. We're just gonna bump our left hip out over our left ankle, just a little. Left hip out, there you go. Now stay in that posture as you rotate through. You got it? That's better. Hair behind it. Hair behind it, did that one pick it up? No, must not have. Let's do that again. Good spine tilt. Okay, so just bump your left hip into my stick. There, right there. So you're just bumping that just a hair. So you're gonna feel like that hip joint's more over that ankle joint, just a little bit. Not totally over it. Now we're stacked on it. That's perfect. Rotate through it. Gorgeous. And now you'll actually hit a draw more times than not in that spine angle. When we get here, I'm gonna do it for the camera. When we get here, we're in trouble. We've been a negative tilt here. You're gonna do 2 things. Either stay here and that club's gonna get more and more on the outside, or the better player like yourself is gonna try to get back underneath it. And that's where we start hitting that little heavy shot.
Feels a lot more like the driver.
I mean, that right
So
there
we-
was, that right there is perfect. And now, you didn't do anything different, but just change your spine angle. My guess is this is what drivers drive me a little bit of nuts too, because we just forgot about that spine angle at the top. Because that was a really good three-wood, to be honest. Okay, same feeling here. So when we start, Kev, I just want you to feel like you can stand nice and tall, and then all you're gonna do is just give me a little bump that way. See how it's just tilted me? You know, you're gonna feel this, but then honestly, I mean, if you just set up with what you feel like your groin or your pelvis joints are inside your feet, right? And then all you're gonna do is just kind of bump this left, just there. Just there. Kind of getting it just on the inside of that left ankle. Does that make sense? Okay. And then from there, just make your turn. That one looked a little bit like the other swings. It just, there looks like you don't have as much room down at the bottom of the golf ball. It looks like you're fighting yourself down at the bottom. So go ahead and set up. I'm gonna watch on this angle. I mean, path was gorgeous, but we're using our hands. Something's not right in your head and you're letting go down at the bottom and trying to make something happen. That looks beautiful. Now left shoulder over that right hip in that spine angle. Set up again. I want you to go to the top of freeze. Okay, now where's the shoulder? Where do I want it?
Back in there.
Yep, I want this over this right foot. You're turning your shoulders beautifully, but you're almost you're not sabotaging, but you're set up nicely, and then you'll just go here. See where I am? My left shoulder? When I set up for driver, I want to feel like I'm set up, and then these two are going to really turn. Now see where my left shoulder is? And then from here, I have all the time in the world to hit that golf ball. But you've got to get that shoulder, we'll call it deeper. Get that left shoulder deeper in our backswing. There you go. Now, the arms have to go up a little earlier. Don't worry about that yet. Let's work on the left shoulder for a minute. We'll work on hand path in a sec. There you go. There you go. So I don't care where the ball goes. I want you to really feel like that left shoulder gets over that right foot in this. Yes, perfect. Now exaggerate. You'll hook the ball more now, but you have more time for that club to come down on path. Now that might have been a hair underneath, and that's okay. Now, path is perfect. Now we gotta leave our hands alone. Much better left shoulder turn. My hands are just a little active at the bottom. You know why? You've created so much more time. Now you start rotating this hands the same speed as you do when you're over it, is you're trying to hurry this up to square it up because you haven't turned your left shoulder big enough in the backswing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the bigger we can turn this left shoulder, the more time now you have for this left arm, the right arm, to start squaring the face up. And that's why we're hitting this big draw right now. Okay? So now you're gonna feel like, I want you to make that left shoulder turn. I want you to hit a fade on purpose here with face, not path, face. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay. Still have a little little draw to it, didn't it?
Yep.
Let's do it again. A little too much more curve than I'd like, but that wasn't bad. It was a good left shoulder turn. You did a better job of creating, your arms kind of stuck with your turn instead of floating on that one, so that's good. What I mean by that is you got to the top and when the left shoulder stopped turning, the hands also froze. Does that make sense? It's not like you turned and then the arms can keep going. This is what I'll see a decent amount. I do this occasionally too. Try to feel like I want to hit it further. I'll turn, but my arms will keep going, and then that creates a more difficult time for timing down at the bottom. Okay, so now in this one, we got the shoulder turn better. I want to fade now, face. I want this face to be open. Okay. That's kind of cool little shot there. Little bullet draw. You even know how you did that?
No, I don't like it though.
It's like your handle is slightly forward. You just de-lofted the heck out of it. But we're starting to get a little bit more under than we want. Right? So now I want you to feel like that club goes more vertical in that backswing. Okay? So all that's gonna feel, grip it. All that's gonna feel like, so I want you to turn your left shoulder and start the head moving up. Don't ram into it. You're gonna try to feel like you're gonna, there you go. See where that club's going? Now look right there. It's kind of a line from your left heel diagonally that way. And then from here, where are we going? Turn, turn, turn. See that, feel that club going up? There you go. Okay. Now we've fixed path, haven't we? That club was much more vertical. Very good. Very good. Not really worried about where the ball's going yet. That was much better with the path. Good. Now we're at 4. Excellent. Question?
No.
Okay. Beautiful. One of your better swings. I think that's the shot shape you like. That little beautiful fade out there. Excellent. Okay, should we get that back?
It actually feels better too, because it's. I still gotta remember to get.
Yep, the shoulder. And I'm going to give you a drill to help us understand where this club's going in the first 2 to 3 feet of the swing. Okay, fine. You may have gotten stacked a little negative at the top on that one, Kevin. You got a little bit here, just a hair. Instead of feeling a little bit more in that right hip. Good boy.
open, that's what I want.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Shot shape is good. Now, face angle is perfect. The only thing we might be coming a little bit more underneath than we want, but I'm not being critical here. That face is now staying slightly open, but we're probably going to see 6 to 8. Yep. Just a little under too much. So let's feel like we're going to go left a little bit through impact. Does that make sense? Hand pat?
Yep.
Okay, good. Really nice. Really nice. It seems like the ball's coming off faster when that hand's going that way. For you, for sure. Yeah, much better. 3-9.
I think I got it now too.
Good. Okay, one more?
Yep.
And then we'll move into the chipping question?
Yep.
Awesome. I can also see the confidence starting. You're starting to swing just a hair if I look. Now you're starting to carry it as far as you were hitting it. That was one of your best swings yet. It was good. Excellent.
I think I got it now.
Excellent.
Alright, awesome.